A common Christmas Day routine during the 1930 to 40s Depression consisted of waking up, opening what presents there were, then going to church. Afterward came Christmas dinner, either at home, or at a relative's house, where the men played cards, the kids just played, and the women cooked. According to Annie Presley, who was married to Vernon's cousin, Sales Presley. Then there was a lot of singing, puzzles and a lot of laughing. Gladys in particular was good at making everyone laugh. Elvis was very good at both playing and looking after Annie and Sales' children, even though he was 4 years older than the oldest. He was a good boy, and not spoiled at all, even though he was an only child. In 1956, Audubon Drive formed the framework of the family's first Christmas, in a home they owned. It was a lovely Christmas, with Gladys, Vernon and Elvis and the family. It is in connection with this Christmas, that Elvis buys a tape recorder, where he records songs with himself, but also with his parents, who sing If We Never Met Again. In 1957 they all celebrate a nice Christmas at Graceland, but it will also be the last one with his mother Gladys, who dies the following year. In 1958 he spent Christmas in Germany. December 24th was spent at the barracks, where he and other soldiers decorate their common Christmas tree. Elvis sings a touching version of Silent Night. The next day he celebrates Christmas together with family and friends, at the Hotel Grunewald in Bad Nauheim. They had a Christmas dinner and Vernon presents his son with an electric guitar. Tom Diskin has sent Elvis a book on method acting as a Christmas present. The book was written by Konstantin Stanislavski. A few of the days leading up to Christmas, in 1959, Elvis spent training karate, with Jürgen Seidel, known as the father of German karate, a training which he began on December 6. Christmas was a little better for Elvis this year. In September he had met a young 14-year-old, Priscilla. On the 25th of December, she gives him a set of bongo drums as a Christmas present. The Christmas party is held with family and friends on Goethestrasse. His girlfriend Anita Wood, who is waiting for me back in America, gets a poodle as a Christmas present from Elvis. Christmas 1960 was a busy time for Elvis. He finishes filming for Wild in the Country on December 22, after which, he flies home to Memphis. Here he spends Christmas, without his mother. Elvis celebrate Christmas, at Graceland. On December 12, he bought a Santa Claus, and a sleigh yard decoration that said, "Merry Christmas to all, Elvis." He bought it for $300, from the Bain Sign Company. For Christmas, Elvis used beautiful red curtains, to decorate Graceland. He had a white nylon Christmas tree, that rotated on its stand, and played carols, and he decorated it with red ornaments. Elvis also lined the Graceland driveway with blue lights. Elvis' father Vernon joked, that with the lights lining the driveway, and the airport nearby, landing pilots could be confused, and mistakenly land at Graceland. In 1961, Elvis did not celebrate Christmas at Graceland with his father, his new wife Dee and her 3 sons. He didn't want to. He therefore flew on the 22nd of December to Las Vegas, where he stayed at the Sahara throughout Christmas. On December 28, Vernon moved with his new family to the house on Hermitage Drive, which was around the corner from Graceland. In 1962, Priscilla was to celebrate Christmas with Elvis, for the first time, at Graceland in Memphis. It had been hard, because her mother wouldn't let her. Christmas belongs to the family, and it doesn't matter if he is Elvis Presley. But at last, she could not bear to see her daughter unhappy, and approved. Priscilla flew to New York, where Vernon and Dee were waiting, and drove her all the way to Memphis, where she arrived, at their house on Hermitage Drive. Soon Elvis arrived, and after kisses and hugs, he drove her to Graceland. It was beautifully decorated with a nativity scene, and the white columns at the entrance of the house shone white in the floodlight. "Merry Christmas," said Elvis, and gave Priscilla his Christmas present. A honey-colored, 6-week-old puppy. The puppy was named Honey. Elvis had wished for a white Christmas Eve, and as if by magic, 10 centimeters of snow fell. Christmas was celebrated with Vernon, and his wife Dee, her 3 sons, David, Ricky, and Billy. Relatives and friends. Elvis got a lot of jewelry as Christmas presents from them, and from Priscilla, he got a music box that played Love Me Tender. His eyes beamed, "I love it, Scylla, I really do. Thank you very much." The following Christmas days were spent watching movies at the cinema, either Memphian or Malco, where he rented the entire cinema for himself and his friends. They also skated in the Rainbow Rollerdrome, and it went wild. Fortunately, no one was ever seriously injured. In 1963 he enjoyed a quiet Christmas with Scylla, his family and friends. Christmas for Elvis was not about receiving, it was always about giving, Priscilla recalls. It was about seeing the reaction on people's faces when he gave them their gifts. Elvis refuses to receive his Christmas present in 1964. Marty Lacker, together with the other friends, has decided to give Elvis a special Bible with a Tree of Life motif on the front. But when Elvis discovered that Larry Geller's name is not on the list of donors, he refuses to accept it because it has been put on. Christmas in 1965 becomes special when his friends and employees buy him the statue of Jesus. It can still be seen in the meditation garden. Priscilla presents him with a home slot car racing set, which he gets very excited about, and gets to gather everyone around it for Christmas. In 1966, on December 20th, he surprised Priscilla with a large Christmas present. A horse. Yes, not just a horse for her, but also one for Jerry Schilling's fiancée Sandy, so they can ride together. Watch my video The Story of Circle G. On December 24th, Elvis proposes to Priscilla. It happens in her dressing room, at Graceland. He bought the ring, from jeweler Harry Levitch. On the 25th, they celebrate Christmas together with family and loved ones. The food is ordered from Manty's catering service. The following days are spent buying even more horses. In 1967, Christmas is celebrated at Graceland. All activities are closed down at Circle G, the remaining horses are moved back to Graceland, where they continue to ride. Elvis purchases a new grand piano for Graceland. Priscilla buys him a gentleman's watch from Harry Levitch. On Christmas Day, a big party for family and friends are held at Graceland. Chairs, champagne flutes and other party supplies are rented from Dixie Rent. Elvis' uncle, Vester Presley, remembers the Christmas days, in the 60s, as being a bit wild, sometimes. Each year, Elvis spent somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500 on fireworks. Roman candles, specially, bought by Elvis are eagerly used, to shoot at each other. Priscilla also took part in the pranks. On one occasion, one of his friends had to drive to the hospital when fireworks burned through his leather jacket. One year, Elvis accidentally launched a rocket that hit a large 6-foot-wide window in the den, later known as the Jungle Room. The window broke into 1,000 pieces, and the 30 to 40 people sitting there got a big shock. Another time, Elvis lit a firework display inside that rotates. With the result that it flew into the cake on the table, and was spread all over the wall, ceiling and floor, and people. Elvis laughed, so that the tears ran down his cheeks, and the rest of us laughed along. The Santa Claus and sleigh sign was retired in the 1960s, when Elvis decorated the lawn with nativity scenes and aluminium Christmas trees. In 1968, Christmas at Graceland became even more special when Elvis and Priscilla's got their daughter, Lisa Marie. For her first Christmas, Vernon dressed up as Santa Claus. Elvis loved to buy Lisa Marie Christmas presents, and the gifts ranged from stuffed animals to a little fur coat, and diamond rings. After the others had gone home, and Lisa Marie had gone to bed, Elvis and a couple of the guys would take out Lisa Marie's presents, and put them under the tree. The early morning hours on Christmas Day were often the best times at Graceland. Elvis wanted to talk about his mother, and about his childhood Christmas. He often said something like, "I wonder what all the poor people are doing tonight. I wish I could help all those poor children, and give them presents." He would reflect on how grateful he was for his success. Then he waited, with a child's eagerness, for Lisa to wake up and find her presents under the tree. In 1969, he returns to Memphis on December 18th, and spends almost every night watching movies at the Memphian. At Christmas Day, Vernon again dresses up as Santa. Elvis gives Priscilla a black fox coat, while she gives him a velvet suit, and shirt, and slacks, designed by Bill Ballou. "1970 is most remarkable, by his visit at the White House, so when he returns with many gifts to Priscilla and Lisa Marie on December 22nd, he has many stories to tell. On December 24th, he visit the Memphis Police Headquarters, to thank all the men and women who had to work on Christmas. He celebrate a quiet Christmas with Priscilla and Lisa Marie, at home on 25th, before they go to see a movie at the Memphian at night. Christmas in 1971 will be the last Christmas where they all three are together. It was almost like it was in the air, because Elvis and Priscilla appeared distant. 5 days later, when Priscilla and Lisa Marie flies back to Los Angeles, he tell everyone that Priscilla is leaving him. In 1972 was the first Christmas that Lisa Marie celebrates without her mother. Lisa Marie is together with her father and his new girlfriend Linda. On the 25th of December, Lisa Marie gets her presents first, then it's Linda's turn. Linda Thompson writes about this Christmas in her excellent book, A Little Thing Called Life. Elvis had bought a beautiful floor-length muskrat fur that looked like mink, and had a big fox hood. From the knee down, was a red fox, which flashed, so that you could make it into a 3/4 coat. In the pockets, Linda found 2 more gifts. In one pocket was $2,500 in $100 bills, which allowed her to buy him a suitable gift, and in the other was a beautiful diamond ring that Elvis had designed for her. And according to Linda's book, Elvis told her, "Honey, one day this will be our engagement ring. Because right now, you can wear it on any finger you want. We're not officially engaged right now, but one day, we'll make the announcement, and this will be your beautiful engagement ring." "1973 had been a crazy year. Elvis had spent a lot of time in the hospital. He had started taking too many pills. Therefore, it was liberatingly relaxing when the two were once again back at Graceland and the Christmas peace descended. Linda in a frenzy. She wanted to give Elvis a surprise gift. What would she come up with? Since Christmas, that year, was an extra special event, I couldn't just write him a poem, like I did every other day of the year. I wondered what to get him, until I sat down, and carefully sketched out a beautiful Maltese cross, which I chose, because Elvis loved crosses, and because it was the epitome of Christmas. My design specified that the cross would be covered in pavé diamonds, and in the center would be a yellow gold eternity band, within which would be 2 sideways hearts, one set in emeralds, which is my birthstone, and the other set in garnets, which were his birthstone. The 2 hearts were connected at the tip with a diamond. In the piece of jewelry should be inscribed, "Love Linda." Then she went to Elvis' personal jeweler Lowell Hayes, who made an even more beautiful necklace out of it. Elvis got his Christmas present, he sat and looked at it, for a long time. Enjoyed every detail. Finally, he said, "This is the best Christmas present I have ever received. In fact, it is the best gift I have ever received, on so many levels." Christmas in 1974 is not among the best. In the beginning of the month he has been at Dr. Garnham's home for his second sleep diet. His mood is not good when he flies back to Memphis on December 23rd, together with Lisa Marie and Linda. The day after, the Karate Project is abandoned, and Karate Movie Office is closed down by Elvis. With no other reason that Elvis lost interest. At Christmas Day, he relax and enjoy the day with his daughter and Linda. During the next days, his choir, the voice is flying in and out. It through the musicians that the Colonel on December 29th, hear about Elvis' health problems and increasingly erratic behavior. He calls Elvis. And when he put down the phone, he decided to cancel the engagement for Elvis in January in Vegas, until his boy is feeling better. In 1975, Elvis was happy when he finally walked off the stage in Vegas on December 15th. It had been a tough 2 weeks to get by for him in Vegas. 2 days later, on December 17th, he and his entourage flew home to Memphis for the Christmas holidays. But on December 24th, the Christmas party is cancelled. According to his nurse Marion Koch recollection, Elvis woke up on Christmas Eve from a nightmare that he had gone bankrupt, and had been abandoned by all his friends. The dream, or nightmare, had been so real to Elvis that he woke up in a rage. He refused to leave his bedroom until all the people waiting downstairs had gone home and left Graceland. On December 25th, Elvis is in a better mood. First he spends Christmas with his girlfriend Linda and daughter Lisa Marie at Graceland. Later, he generously distributes jewels from the Lowell Hayes collection. Elvis selects himself and gives to his closest relatives. He does this on board his plane, the Lisa Marie, where a quiet Christmas party is held. Elvis was so proud of the plane that he had bought earlier that year. Unfortunately, his Aunt Delta Mae Briggs ends up getting very drunk, and starts dozing off some of his friends. Elvis becomes very angry, and disappointed, that she embarrasses him, in front of everyone. The following year in 1976, and what was to become Elvis' last Christmas Eve. Linda had moved out of Graceland just 2 weeks before Christmas. Elvis had found a new girlfriend, Ginger Alden. Shortly before Christmas, Billy gave Elvis a 2-sided letter from Linda. Along with the letter was a last gift from her, a beautiful gold ring. Elvis was very touched and saddened. He sat for a long time clutching the letter in his hand, but he looked at the beautiful ring. Ginger Alden has told that they celebrated a very quiet Christmas Eve at Graceland. In the evening Elvis gave Ginger a beautiful diamond necklace in the bed. Together they watched television together with Lisa Marie on the bed until she fall asleep. Next day they spent time with Lisa Marie, Vernon and his girlfriend Sandy. According to Danny Smith, son of Joe and Billy, the big moment of the evening would be when Elvis himself walked down the stairs to greet his guests. The adults usually partied upstairs and left the children to themselves. All kinds of mischief ensued, from hide and seek to throwing a football around. In addition, Danny revealed that last Christmas at Graceland, Elvis maintained the holiday tradition. As mentioned before, the adults held their celebrations in Elvis' bedroom. As a result, Danny, Lisa Marie, and the other Memphis Mafia kids partied downstairs. They even helped themselves to some of the Christmas punch. Lisa Marie received a golf cart from her father that year. She loved to get her way, Danny said. She got it many times. He remembers being with her at Graceland as damn good times. The Presleys always put up their Christmas decorations up early, and because Elvis loved the season, the decorations stayed up through his birthday on January 8th. Thank you for watching. Remember to watch my over 100 other Elvis stories here on the channel. Get a subscription, it's free, and ask to be notified when new videos comes out. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.